Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you joined me here again today. Today I would like to talk about a topic that I am really passionate about. I would like to talk about finances and taking charge of your finances. I write a lot about this topic and I also talk a lot about it, and now I am making videos about it because I feel it is a very important topic for us women. Growing up and in the environment that I grew up, finances were a topic that we really never talked about. And if you asked any questions, it was always like, you're too small, don't worry about it, everything will be fine. Not talking about it as a kid did not equip me for my teenage years, my adulthood, and being financially independent. So I made it a point that I would always talk about finances and share my knowledge with everybody that would like to listen, and make sure that we are also doing the same and expanding our knowledge and sharing our knowledge with people outside. This is a video where I will be sharing a little of my financial story with you and also asking you to take action and take charge of your finances. But before I continue with this video, it's very important in this YouTube world. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and please share with your friends and family. About 18 years ago, when I moved to Germany, my financial story began. I moved to Germany and I was there to start my German course and also start studying. At that point in my life, I did not have regular income and I was dependent on people. And it was very important for me to really get to a point where I could make my own money and spend my own money the way that I wanted to. It was important because I was in a new country. There were a lot of things that I wanted to discover and explore, but really on somebody else's money, you cannot explore as much as you want. So back then for me, the first step to my financial independence was taking charge of my finances and making a small income. I started doing some small jobs here and there. I was babysitting, I was working in some restaurants, I was doing some really odd jobs here and there. But really, I would say making small money was so exciting. At that stage, it was very important for me to learn how to spend money wisely. I don't really splurge on a lot of things, but it was really important for me at that stage, getting fresh money, to make sure that I did not spend it all. Starting my journey, I was now making some money, and it was important for me to learn how to spend money wisely. I was able to do this fairly quickly because I grew up in a household with my mom where my mom spent wisely on the things that were important. So this one was not difficult. It's a little different when it's your own money. I was able to live by what my mom taught me and spend wisely. So the first step of making money kind of felt natural and it felt normal. The next step for me was financial security. Being able to know that if something happened, I had money laid back in the bank. It was very interesting to know that just because you made money does not mean you have financial security. It's one thing to have money coming in, but really if you don't save and if you don't put anything aside for emergencies, you are really not financially secure. And I know I'm saying this and it's more difficult for some of you out there than it is for others, but I want to encourage you to put whatever small amount you have on the side to make sure that you are building that emergency fund. And I always remind people around me it is a very, very important point. I was making really little money and most of it went to pay my bills, pay rent, pay the things that I needed to do, and I did not have enough to save. But I knew that I wanted to save. So what I did was I started saving a very small amount just to make sure that I got the discipline. Then I grew it as I made more money and made more money, and the discipline really that I learned in that phase of my life is what has made me who I am today. So financial security is something that we all need to strive for and we all need to make sure is a priority for us. The next thing that I started learning was I needed to be able to plan my money. When I say plan my money, it sounds like I had so much and that's why I was looking for what to do with it. But no matter how small your income currently is, to have a budget is really important. You need to always know what you're spending your money on, and you always need to know where there are opportunities to save or where there are opportunities to optimize the way you are spending your money. A budget was something that I then started learning to put together. It was simple, it had a few line items, but it was really important for me to make sure that at the end of the month, I had paid for the things that were important. A budget is still something that I do today. I still review my budget on a monthly basis, although my income is fixed and my expenses are also fixed, but I always like to have that discipline and that rigor to make sure that nothing unexpected is happening anywhere. As my income grew and as my responsibilities and financial responsibilities grew, it was really important for me not to let anything go by without being aware of it. Knowing my financial status became even more important. Knowing how much money I was making, knowing how much money I was giving out or spending, knowing how much money I owed for some reason, knowing how much money other people owed me was very important. Knowing where I was financially was something that I started doing, and it's something that I have been doing at least for the last 15 years. I monitor my bank account like a hawk. There's no there's no payment that is in my bank account that I'm not aware of. With now, I hardly spend any cash, especially living in the US. I use a credit card very often, and it is very important to me that I don't spend crazily. So I always make sure that I monitor the money that I'm spending and monitor what I'm doing with my finances. I'm very happy that I got through the phase where I was struggling to pay normal bills, up to the place where I was more comfortable with it and I was able to save, up to now where I don't worry about the bills. It was very important to me that at that time I grew my savings. From growing my savings, I was then able to start looking at other ways to expand my money and grow my money with investment opportunities, looking for ways to invest in other companies and other businesses. It's so exciting to explore other ways to grow financially. I tell you all this to say, your financial journey might take a few years. Mine took 18 years to be where I am today. It was not easy at the beginning. It got easier step by step, and it is much easier now. However, I needed to be very disciplined and I needed to be conscious of the decisions that I made financially. If you ask me, what did you do to be financially independent? I'll definitely say these 5 things. Number 1, I was always aware of my financial situation and my financial status. Number 2, I saved money and I was very disciplined about doing it. Number 3, I lived within my means, and I still live within my means. It's a very big priority for me. Number 4, I looked for ways to grow my finances. Number 5, I educated myself about finances. Through my journey, it was very important that I learned a lot about money because I did not know about money growing up. I'm still learning, I'm still getting wiser, and I'm very happy that I have this platform to share some of my financial wisdom with you. Thank you so much for joining me to talk about my financial journey. I'm so excited to hear about your financial journey and the wise choices that you had to make. Please share your story in the comment section, and if you have any questions for me, please add them also in the comment section. I'm very committed to answer any financial questions that you have out there as far as I know them, or at least I can help you do some research on those topics. But before you go, please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and every woman in your network. Thank you so much again. Take care. Bye.